I want to pull my hair out. I really want to pull my hair out. What the hell was that? Like, I'm just so annoyed. We had to endure the longest baseball game, or 9-inning game, I should say, since the pitch clock was implemented. This was the longest 9-inning game. And of course, we had to endure that. We had to endure a 3-hour and 45-minute baseball game. You could have drove your ass over to JFK or LaGuardia Airport and been on a flight to San Francisco, the first flight, and you would have been over halfway there. I'm saying San Francisco because it's across the bridge from Oakland. You could have been halfway, more than halfway to San Francisco for the time this baseball game took, and I promise you, you would have enjoyed sitting on a plane, being all antsy to get to San Francisco versus watching this crap, because instead we had to watch Jose Quintana, which is worse than watching paint dry. We had to watch this pitching staff give up 11 walks, was it, at the end of the day? Yeah, 11 walks. They had more walks than strikeouts. More walks than strikeouts today. They allowed more runs than they recorded strikeouts today. And then the offense, once again, comes up, minuscule, itty bitty, whatever word you want to use, come up small with runners in scoring position. Deja vu. And it's just annoying because last night, it's just every single time. It's the story of being a Met fan. You just think they're roping you back in. They get a convincing win last night. They rope you in to think they'll win the series, and then they're going to beat the Marlins, and then maybe they'll do at least decent against the Orioles, and, they'll still be in this thing. Now, I'm sorry. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? Because this type of play is of teams that don't deserve to make the postseason. I'm sorry, somebody has to say it, and it's just the truth. Because the Braves right now are losing their game, and doesn't matter. Does not matter, because all this team does is tread water, and we're supposed to believe that's good enough. The San Francisco Giants, who we were laughing at for not willing to give up Blake Snell, we were openly laughing at that team for being mediocre, pointing the finger at them. They are on the horizon of passing the Mets at this rate. Hell, the Cincinnati Reds are on a 4-game heater. They could even pass the Mets within a couple weeks. Who the hell knows? Who knows? Because I can tell you right now, it's going to happen if the Mets play like this. It's just going to happen. Before we jump in everything, leave a like if you enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live. Again, I'm not even going to hold back today because it's just like, I'm beyond the point of preaching positivity, if you will. Like, I respectfully want to push you down a flight of stairs if you are being ultra positive Peter at the current moment right now and saying, oh, it's fine. You're not going to win all 162. No, just spare me the garbage. You pissed away a Vientos 2-home run game. Because outside of that, though, I mean, the rest of the offense came up minuscule outside of Torrens with runners in scoring position. Other than that, nobody showed up. Pete Alonso 4 for 4 yesterday. How about 0 for 3 for you today? Iglesias went 2 for 4. None of the hits with runners in scoring position, or none of them at least drove in a run. No RBIs for him. I actually don't think it was with runners in scoring position, any of his hits, because they went 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position. And I'd imagine it's when Vientos got one of his home runs, and then the other one was when Torrens got his base hit. So I don't know. Either way, everything feels so distant ago because of how long this baseball game was, and I'm so annoyed that I wasted my entire afternoon watching this crap. Forget about what I said yesterday about how much I hate afternoon games, especially on weekdays. I hate it even more when Quintana pitches because it just, I know that I'm in for a long afternoon, but I didn't think my entire day was going to be wasted today. I had no clue I was going to endure my entire afternoon being sucked out of me today. It's almost time to, we're an hour or two away from firing up the grills tonight, getting to it in the kitchen, but instead, no. Or I should say, it's ridiculous that we're at that standpoint. I should be, wrapping up my afternoon, hitting the gym or something right now, literally doing anything productive. I should have been doing that hours ago, but instead I watched this pitching staff give up 11 walks. Jose Quintana not being able to make it past 4 innings. I watched 2 starting pitchers incapable of throwing. Like, they both threw 90 pitches in 4 innings or less. Like, that's the baseball game we watched. Brazoban sucked today. Reed Garrett, I'm done pretending he's good. It's the story is over. I'm sorry, it's over. I'm done pretending. And then outside of that, Maton struggled today. Stanek struggled today. Got the Bronx cheers because he couldn't find the strike zone. Diaz even got in a little bit of trouble, but it wasn't anything too drastic. But again, it's just Quintana constantly loading the bases. Did it in the first inning, got out of the jam. In the third inning, did it again, got out of the jam. And you just knew. And it's just, of course, when the Mets pounce on Oakland early. Because in the second inning, they got a run from a wild pitch. In the third inning, Vientos gets that 2-run home run. And then you have Torrens get that big RBI single to make it 5-0. All of a sudden, you're up 5-0. Quintana plays the dangerous game of loading the bases for another inning and then allows a grand slam to JJ Bleday. You knew right then and there, I mean, I at least knew that what's the point here? I'm sorry, I didn't want to be the guy, but and then he got bailed out by, I think it was Langoliers crossing the plate, who didn't step on the plate, got bailed out there big time. Because that should have been a 5th run right there. Got bailed out, they didn't step on the plate. Can we add like runner errors into baseball? Because Quintana deserves to be charged with an extra run there, because base running errors should be part of the game. And then the 4th inning, Vientos had a home run again. But it doesn't matter because the 5th inning, Brazoban comes in and allows run after run. And then it was 6-5. That's still with the lead, though. And then we go to the 6th inning, though, and it doesn't matter because Reed Garrett comes in, single, double, ground out, scores a run, walks a batter, Seth Brown with a single, 7-6, and I guess he got through the inning at least. Like, that's all you can look at as a positive there. And that feels like hours ago when I watched that inning. And then the offense, like I said, got base runners every now and then. Got runners in the 9th inning against Mason Miller, and it did not matter. I am trying to understand why Alvarez was in this game for McNeil. And I never thought I'd say those words. But McNeil has been performing way better than Alvarez lately, and there needs to be a conversation here about Alvarez. This is more than just your typical slump. Like, this is bad. This is bad. If he's playing hurt, he needs to sit. I'm sorry. He needs to sit, get an IL stint, because right now, in the last 30 games, a 500 OPS or whatever it is, a 202 average with 1 home run and 4 RBI, 6 walks, striking out 31 times in 99 at-bats. I'm sorry. No. Nope. There's no way. And this is the problem, is that when everything was firing on all cylinders in July, we were on cloud 9. We were eating it up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But then you have the slumps, because Bader is starting to show his true colors too right now, because that at bat in the 6th inning from him, swinging at ball 4 on 2 pitches straight. He hasn't been great for the past week or two. You know? I mean, this is just. And then the inconsistencies of Pete and Martinez are just infuriating. But Nimmo didn't play today, which was because of a stomach bug, apparently. Looks like he wasn't even available off the bench because I was surprised he wasn't in this game. You would think he would have been the first guy off to play, but they put Gamble in instead to play the field there. But he's in a deep slump too. Maybe you found your two-hitter with Vientos, but what does it matter if the rest of the offense is just inconsistent as all hell? Like, your two quote-unquote consistent guys right now that are hitting lower in the lineup are Iglesias and McNeil, and those guys aren't even playing every day. So, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but something needs to go down with Alvarez. I can tell you that right now, because Alvarez and Nimmo, specifically those two, because these last stretches of games here are just terrible. I want to actually pull up like the Fangraph numbers here with Alvarez, and I don't know what he was doing on that first at bat where he got himself out, but just infuriating stuff. It's really infuriating stuff. Yeah, he has a 33 WRC plus in the second half right now. He's got a 254 slugging, 212 on base, 175 average. What are we doing here? And it's so annoying because he's playing like a damn all-star in the first half. And this team sorely missed him when he was injured. Comes back and balls out and helps the pitching staff heavily too. Now, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's just, this is unacceptable. These teams that they're losing to. It's really just embarrassing. And you play the Marlins, so it's yet again a bad team. I don't know what you want me to say about tomorrow, other than at least it's baseball, because you always get a chance tomorrow to get back at it and get back to it and get on the field and start a new win streak and, you know, start a new day. That's the great part about our game, right? But I could tell you right now, we already bitch and moan about how much the Marlins are always causing the Mets problems. I could tell you that with this wounded Mets team right now, the last thing they need is the wolves of the Miami Marlins to eat their corpse. And do you know how much it will hurt my soul if the Mets playoff hopes die by the Miami Marlins? Like, do you know how much that's going to eat me alive? But it's very possible, because a sweep, if the Mets get swept by the Marlins, I mean, you're done. There does not matter that road trip coming up in Atlanta and San Diego unless you literally go undefeated, which is not going to happen because it was unrealistic to begin with. And it's even more unrealistic when this team is just not performing well. So unless, barring that, getting swept by the Marlins, like, you're done at that point. You are absolutely done if you get swept by the Marlins. This is the final hope here for the playoffs. Is it over dramatic to say that in August? I don't know. Maybe they find themselves on a hot stretch at the end of August and rolling into September, and I'm wrong. But to me and most other Met fans, the feeling is pretty mutual amongst the fan base that this stretch of games against the Marlins is like, this is it. Because if you don't sweep the Marlins, then how am I supposed to have faith that you're going to beat the Orioles, the scorching hot Padres and the Diamondbacks. At this rate, are you gonna beat the White Sox? Because you love losing the bad teams. Are you gonna beat the White Sox at this rate? Or is that even a tall ask right now? Maybe I'm being dramatic there, but team has an obsession right now of losing to just terrible baseball teams that they should be annihilating, beating the ever-living piss out of, but instead said no. I don't know. I want to see if there's any like post-game quotes that are out there at all or anything before I wrap things up. But regardless, yeah, this series against the Marlins is pretty much like an unofficial do or die series for the Mets playoff hopes, because if you don't beat them, if you get swept by them, and if the Braves come back and win their game, you are all of a sudden 6 games out at that point, potentially. Maybe even more potentially. I don't know the math on that. But either way, you're pulling yourself far enough out of the race with other teams starting to catch up. You're pretty much pulling yourself out of the race there. So all I could say is prove me wrong. Prove me wrong and find a way to play like you did in July. Do I have confidence it's going to happen? No. Do I hope it happens? I hope it more than anyone in this world. I really do. But it's just, I just hate that this happens all the time. It's just all the time. And I know it's a 162 game season and it's going to happen every year, but it's just all the time where we get suckered back in and then we think, oh, the team of destiny and all that stuff. And then it's just like, then you just see this garbage and it's like, that makes more sense. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I didn't even realize I was going for 17 minutes here. Just ranting and rambling. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one.